Don't they know that that would require murder? We're only 20 meters from the scene of the crime. Oh, got you. You thought that I would dabble in illegal activity? Think again. Stay in school, kids. What is that? Now remember, you can be the tree. Congratulations, you made it through the intro. That puts you in the 84th percentile of enjoyment of my content. You like it more than like 3 of my clone test subjects. I really only set up this video as a warning that if we hang out and you want to go to a strawberry farm, that is about what's going to happen. So the rest of the video is basically just a vehicle for that. So if you can't handle me at my... then you don't deserve me at my... Oh, got you. Today I want to talk to you guys about my last solo album, Last Time Till Broadway. Every song has a story, and I feel like these deserve to be told. I'm going to be doing the first CD prints of Last Time Till Broadway in December, and I'm offering a pre-order special. The first 30 copies ordered will come signed with 3 exclusive stickers at no additional charge. To order one, just message me on Facebook or Instagram at timothymorrismusic, or email me at timothymorrismusic@gmail.com. So the term Last Time Till Broadway began as a joke, much like life itself. It was started with a friend on the last day of the school musical in my freshman year. I was a freshman and my friend was a senior. So this was the last time we were gonna see each other for a while. So we started saying Last Time Till Broadway back and forth because we had this grand plan that we were going to meet up on Broadway one day. But a few months later, the chorus of this song popped into my head and I began to think of it as a small town blues, I'm getting out of here sort of anthem, which is exactly how I was feeling because about 70% of this album was written in a 2-month period where I was living in a different house in the process of moving from Prophetstown, Illinois to Maui. And the song came together just in about 10 minutes. Lyrics, music, the 6/8 breakdown in the middle, and everything just kind of showed up. I demoed the song the next day and I immediately knew that it was going to be the opener on my 3rd record, and this was before Into FM was ever even released. This is definitely one of my strongest songs in my eyes, and it's a lot of fun to do live because we had a very long jam at the end of it with the Timothy Morris Band. More band content coming soon. And I don't know. I'm happy with it. Sue me. Ironclad came to me around midnight while I was living in Morrison, Illinois, and it really just fell out of the sky, and I was really self-conscious about it because it was very different from the sort of thing that I had done before. It was definitely more personal and more melodic and more honestly whiny songwriter sounding. This song really marked a shift in the way that I write music that has really changed everything over the last 2 years. And it also led me down a road of writing songs that could be played acoustically, and I started to get more opportunities to go out and do open mics and reach more people. So that was a really fun time, and when acoustic entertainment is needed again, I would like to get out and do some more of that. I think that there's a lot of themes jammed in this song, but it's really summed up in the beginning chorus line, "Can't we just hang on to the love we had?" It's a longing for a love that each of us must decide is real or delusional. I still feel like this is my strongest single type song, and it's also the only song that I've done a music video for. That'll pop up right there. I really enjoyed making this music video. It was directed by my sister, Faith September, who is a fantastic music video producer, whether she wants to accept that into her life or not. Unnecessary came to me on the drive home from getting my favorite coffee drink, a salted caramel frappe at Akamai Coffee. Shout out, absolutely worth the money. But I had been there about once every day for a month, so I was having a crisis. I started singing the chorus in the car and I came inside and wrote the song. I don't know where it became an environmental awareness anthem, but it happened and I'm very glad that I did, because every time I play the song, it really feels like I mean every word that I'm saying, even if they might not be the most acceptable things to say. Psychology was written, I think, the day after Ironclad, around the same time of night. I was kind of joking, and I didn't like the song at first. Looking back, I do think that it was very honest, but I think that in that mental state, I was just trying to convince myself that I was joking. But after thinking, oh, maybe I'll put this song out as a joke, about 4 days later, I decided to play it at an open mic in Rock Island, Illinois, at a coffee shop called Cool Beans, and people loved it, and as I continued to play it, it became people's favorite song of mine, and it did start to grow on me, and I'm not saying that that wasn't the initial reason, but I do really love this song now, and it's also one of my shortest songs, so it is listenable. You can get to the end. Some of the music for Who Hurt You was conceived in like spring of 2018, and I remember playing it around the house wondering why I wasn't getting any compliments for how cool and weird the verse riff was, but it really wasn't. Wow, you think you're so cool because the riff changes feel like a little bit. I had the chorus and a lyrical concept, but while I was living in Morrison, a good friend Zach Burke and I finished up the lyrics in probably under an hour and wrote the middle section, and then I demoed it a few days later, and it became one of my favorites and one of our favorites for the project that we were working on that eventually got scrapped. But I'm glad I got to keep the song for my project, and I know that it's not very obvious on streaming services, but when I finally get these CDs made, his name will be on the back and it'll seem fair. But Who Hurt You really is one of my proudest accomplishments of the album. I'm happy with the production, and the song tends to go over well live, which is also very important, so I love this song. Luzio was written and mostly recorded very spontaneously on the last day that we lived in Morrison. I had all of my studio equipment packed up except for this little mobile studio that I was going to have for travel. I set it up on my desk and started programming what I thought was going to be kind of a rap beat. Whether I was going to do something serious or joking with it, I still don't know. But then I came up with this synth riff that really wasn't meant to go with it, but then I put it together and it just happened to work very well. And I had a demo of this song very quickly with a chord progression in the chorus that's much more complicated than what I would usually write, so I don't really know what was going through my mind. There aren't a ton of electronic vibes on the rest of the album. I'm glad that this song stuck around to keep that element alive. It takes what was very sprawled out on Into FM and condenses it into one little departure on Last Time Till Broadway. Hey Wait dates back the furthest. I believe the riff was written in maybe 2017 actually, but most likely 2018. I wrote the lyrics in English class, as you do, and I didn't really touch it for a couple of months until I decided to debut it at an open mic, and it always went over well, and my dad liked it, so it stuck around. I find that a lot of my lyrics are just very abstractly trying to deal with my observations as I look at the world and how I feel on the inside, which is really all you can do. I try not to pinpoint exactly what I mean because a lot of the times I just can't know. So Hey Wait feels like I was trying to deal with more existential themes, probably because it sounded happy and I needed something heavy to go against that. But whatever it was about, I still enjoy the song, so why should I question it? That's for you guys to do. During production, the biggest thing that hopped out was to put in the mellotron. It took this song from a very raw acoustic song and just gave it something else, and it made it more, which is also what led to the synth builds and reverse guitars and stuff like that. The Bridge Without a Road was me and my friend's nickname for an old weighing station that was on our farm, and it was kind of a hangout spot for us. And in the months leading up to moving out of our house, I came up with the chorus of the song, "Welcome to my humble abode, I reside by the bridge without a road." One day it popped into my head that the bridge without a road could be a metaphor for feeling like you can't move on from things. And one night, as with many of the songs on this album, the lyrics just kind of fell out of the sky. But with those lyrics came the C7 F to F minor part. All of a sudden I started hearing all these layered vocals, and the end of the song just happened. I demoed the song the next day and did all of these layered vocals on it, and I think I did the demo in like 3 hours. And I just knew that this was my best work yet and that this song was going to be important for me. And it was. It became one of the most complimented parts of my live show. And if I'm not teared up at the end of a performance of this song, then there must be a libertarian president, because I am stoked. Culture is the only song on the record that was really written over a span of time. This is really the only song on the album that I listen to and don't critique. I just can listen to it. It's the only political moment on the record, and with how political the first two albums were, that's really an accomplishment for me. But the thing is, I made it very intentional that it wasn't going to be political, it was going to be anti-political. Speaking of corruption on both sides, and ultimately a message of love and understanding that I want to convey above all of the noise and confusion that makes its way into my music, because that's just life and that's just who I am. My favorite thing about Culture is that it doesn't do the same thing twice, and it has a very unique arrangement that I'm very proud of, and I think probably my best guitar solo is just very melodic, and it feels like it's a continuation of the lyrics in some way, like some sort of battle march. I speak about these songs like I'm analyzing someone else's music, but that's honestly how I feel about a lot of it. I do feel like these songs come from somewhere else, and I have a hard time talking like I'm talking about my own work. So I apologize if I come off egotistical, especially if this is the first time you've heard me talk about my music. The day that this song came to me, I was on piano, and as the end started to take shape, I realized that it was going to run perfectly into One Last Song. Now this is a fitting title because this is the last song that I ever wrote in the house that I grew up in. Essentially, pianos are really heavy. In the studio we had an old upright piano that had been in our house as long as I can remember. Many albums used it, including 2 Harry Bailey's Transport albums. That was a band that included my dad and Joe Roman and Mike Cozy on the second album. And most of these albums were written and recorded with this piano, and I loved it. I loved the sound of it. I felt like that piano always brought a different side of my writing out of me. And we were under so much moving stress, we really didn't want to have to take this piano downstairs, and in essence we thought that the new owners wanted to keep it. But then we got a call from their realtor, and they didn't. Then the notion of destroying the piano with a chainsaw was brought up, and I got sad. It was the day before we had to be out of the house, and I had about 10 minutes before I left for the gig, and I thought, well, for the next 10 minutes I still have a piano. So I sat down, just came out. And when I came downstairs, my parents had heard it, and my mom told me that that was one of the most beautiful melodies she'd ever heard. And I knew that there was a significance to it, and I knew that it just came from a place of, this is what it feels like when you're on the very last moment before you step into the rest of your life. And I knew that I was going to find a place for it. So when I wrote Culture, and it's so effortlessly and seamlessly transitioned, I knew that that just had to be the end of the album. 'Twas not a doubt in my mind! Now don't worry, the piano is in a safe place. We did get it down the stairs, and it's living with our closest family friends. So I couldn't have been happier about that ending. I feel like Last Time Till Broadway comes from an extremely uncertain place. But I'm pleased with my work in that I don't feel like it gives up hope, and I don't feel like it throws Faith out the window. Not Faith September. No, we throw her out the window every day at 7. Like a lot of art is, it's a snapshot of a place in life that I will never be again. And that's truly the beauty of art, is that it preserves memories, good or bad, happy or sad, melancholy or playing football. Music is special. It has always been special, and it always will be special. And the fact that I get to have a part at all in this incredible art form makes me thankful every day. Well, maybe not, because like 98% of the time I'm like, why did you make me do music? But not because I don't love it, because it's just a nightmarish career choice. But I love it. So that's really all I have to say about that. I hope you enjoyed watching me talk for however long this video turns out to be. Now, if you made it this far, you just listened to me talk about this album, why not go to your favorite streaming service and check it out for yourself? It's streaming on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play and wherever you want to listen to it now. Again, I'm hoping to put out the first CD printing of the album in December. I'm doing a pre-order special where the first 30 copies sold come with 3 exclusive stickers and are signed by me. But guess what? At no additional cost. You can just message me on Facebook or Instagram at timothymorrismusic, or email me at timothymorrismusic@gmail.com. Have a wonderful day, and don't disrupt the employees at the strawberry fields. Bye.
See the world burn down, and I cried, and then I laughed, 'cause when am I gonna stop spending my money on unnecessary? When am I gonna stop spending my time worrying about what's to come?
Don't they know that that would require murder? Yeah, I gotta not laugh. We can get murder.
Just do murder.
Don't they know that would require murder?
You gotta not laugh, Bailey. I'm sorry.
You know we're filming, right?